Mr. Speaker, February 22nd is Canada's National Human Trafficking Awareness Day, thanks to the hard work of the All-Party Parliamentary Group to End Human Trafficking and Modern-Day Slavery. Human trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery that turns people into objects to be used and exploited. It's profitable, vicious, and it's growing, and it's happening right here in our own country and around the globe.
Sheila, Gunn, Reid for Rebel News. Now, last week when I was in Parkland County covering a Leslyn Lewis Conservative Leadership Campaign event, I ran into somebody, an MP, who has endorsed her, Conservative MP for Peace River, Arnold Viersen. Now, no surprise there that Viersen would endorse Lewis. Arnold Viersen is an unashamed pro-life conservative Christian. He's got all these cute little kids running around all the time to prove it. But I wanted to talk to Viersen to get an update from him on his very important work in the House of Commons to combat sex trafficking and sexual exploitation online.
For a group of executives that I recently spoke to, as soon as I told them that some of the victims are as young as 12 years old, they were flabbergasted, right? Because they figure it's an older person thing, it's an adult thing. Some of them were of the mindset that, well, these are young ladies that, they run away from home and they got involved in drugs. When you bring them a survivor, and that survivor gets up there and tells their story, you could hear a pin drop in the room. Survivors are the key to the solution. Survivor-led training is the key to the solution. Bringing more and more survivors in, as painful as it is for them to tell their stories, they want to because they want to stop it from happening to somebody else. And businesses, corporations, government, we need to start listening to them more and helping them in any way that we can.
It's vital to see the Trucking Association help in combating human trafficking. It's great to see that.
As a show of unity, that our industry is committed to doing what we need to do to help spread the message to end human trafficking.
Now, here's the conversation I had with Viersen last week in Parkland County about the progress he is seeing fighting modern-day slavery hidden in our communities.
You seem to be one of very few people in Canadian Parliament who is really working hard to shine a light on the darkest corners of the internet.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say that I'm the only guy working on it, because we have actually an all-party group that's working to end human trafficking.
Typical conservative, you don't want to steal anybody else's.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. But and through that group, we've been having some amazing action happening on that. I want to highlight Senator Julie Maville-Deschênes, her and I probably don't agree on anything other than fighting sexual exploitation online. She's got a great bill S-211 that's coming through the Senate right now. I'm hoping to sponsor that in the House when it gets there. And I've also got a private member's bill called the CEASE Act, the Stop Internet Sexual Exploitation Act, which I'm hoping to table here within the month. I just got to run it through a few more committees and things like that before I can set it on the order paper, and then everybody will get a look at that. That bill, I was working on it for quite a while, but what really spurred it on and sped it up was the whole scandal around MindGeek and Pornhub, and the fact that they were just putting willy-nilly these videos up, weren't checking for making sure that they were of age girls, weren't checking into that they actually consented to their images being up. So this would mandate that companies that are doing that must maintain records. It's a record keep. It's already illegal to put underage children on the internet. It's already illegal to put non-consensual images on the internet. But the problem is that the police have to prove that every time. This would kind of just reverse the onus and cause corporations to have to maintain records so that when the police show up and say, "Hey, this girl doesn't look of age," the company can just say, "No, we got her ID. We got a proof of age here." So that's the CEASE Act. That's kind of the next thing I've been working on in the fight to stop sexual exploitation here in Canada.
As it would seem, part of Viersen's very important work is to make sure that the NDP Liberal government in Ottawa does not sneak house arrest for human traffickers into new sentencing guidelines. Because as we know, human traffickers often work quite literally out of their homes, but leave it to the Liberals to take a harder line on truckers with bouncy castles than modern-day slave traders. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. You know, you never know who you're going to run into or what important issue you're going to discuss out on the campaign trail. But that's why it's so important for us here at Rebel News to be out there covering the leadership campaign for the Conservative Party of Canada. To see our stories and to support our independent journalism you won't see anywhere else, please visit leadershipreports.ca.